Hi, I'm Brent Butler with Masterplans.com. Today, I'll be talking about 7 common reasons your immigration visa application will get a request for evidence, or RFE. Remember when you turned in that college midterm paper without citing your sources, and your professor said, where did these statistics come from? And then you were told to rewrite after you blurted Wikipedia? An RFE is kind of like that. It doesn't mean your visa application is getting denied. It means that USCIS needs more information before they can approve it. This is most relevant in L1, E2, and EB5 visa types, but hopefully useful to others as well. First, some bad news. RFEs have been on the rise in the past few years for all immigration visa types. Think of it as a sudden teacher crackdown. H-1B visas have been hit the hardest due to the anti-immigration stance of the current administration. L1 visas are also under more intense scrutiny than ever before. Even if you've successfully gotten your visa renewed several times, USCIS could come back with an RFE, questioning your eligibility. Getting an RFE is frustrating because it takes time and probably money to respond to it and submit the documentation or proof that USCIS has asked for. They want evidence that the visa applicant or the company is legit. Otherwise, they'll deny the visa. It doesn't mean you have to completely redo your visa application, but you better have the material they're asking for. Now, don't panic, but do take it seriously. And make sure you submit your documentation within the required time frame, usually somewhere between 30 and 90 days. On the bright side, that's way longer than your kids would get on most homework assignments. Now, of course, in a perfect world, you would prevent an RFE by submitting complete and solid information the first go-round. Here are the 7 most common reasons people get an RFE and how to avoid them. The first and most common reason RFEs are issued is when you have a vague or templated business description. Oh, you're opening a restaurant? Nope. What type of restaurant? What neighborhood? What price range? And what meals? Okay, a restaurant is just an example, but for any industry, be very clear about exactly what your company does. Your business plan should include your company history, your mission, leaders, and goals. And you should spend a full page at the very minimum on your products or services. Now, it's not uncommon to spend, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10 pages on products or services, especially if you include blueprints, photos of your retail space, product prototypes, packaging, and so forth. You get it. For our restaurant example, include your menu with prices. If you're opening a hotel, include floor plans, room amenities, rates, and so on. If you're creating an app, show screenshots of it and reviews from the App Store. The second most common reason for an RFE, applicants have vague market and industry analyses. Your record store will serve everyone in your entire city. Wrong. A vague market and industry analysis, or one that's not very positive, can also trigger an RFE. USCIS wants to know who your target market is and what competitive advantage you have over the others in this market. A SWOT analysis isn't required, but some people like to include one. In any case, make sure you have a realistic comparison of your top competitors. USCIS also wants proof that your company operates in a thriving industry, specifically recent concrete data showing that your industry is growing. Sad to say, record stores are not doing so well. Number 3 is because the investment is just too small. You're investing $35,000, not really going to happen. For E2 visas, USCIS requires substantial investment. That's enough to fund your business, which varies kind of based on your industry. Technically, you can get approved for an E2 visa by investing less than $50,000 if it only takes that much to successfully run your company. But I typically tell people to invest at least $100,000 on an E2 visa, and much more if your company needs it. If your company requires a lot of expensive equipment, real estate, and a large, highly trained staff, your substantial investment required will be a lot higher than if you're buying, say, a coffee shop. If you're applying for an EB-5 visa, the required investment is much higher, either $500,000 or $1 million under the current program criteria. On to number 4, the lack of at-risk capital. Not only do you have to make a substantial investment, but you can get an RFE if you don't demonstrate that your investment is at risk. I have a video all about that, which I'll link to in the description below. The short version is this. You have to allocate money for your business that you have no guarantee of getting back. Some examples are paying a web developer, a general contractor, and maybe a marketing agency. Now, USCIS wants to see that you're not going to back out and that you're serious about investing into the US economy. This is especially true for EB-5 applicants. Now on to number 5, role and responsibility misalignment. A big reason an RFE on an L1A visa application is saying someone will hold the title executive or manager, but their responsibilities don't line up with that. I also have a video on that topic, which I'll link to. But to sum it up, an executive or manager must be doing high-level work, not sales or production, and manage 5 to 8 other managers and high-level employees. You also have to establish a physical office. On to number 6, unclear staffing timelines. An EB-5 applicant can get an RFE if there's not a clear staffing timeline laid out for hiring the required 10 full-time jobs. Since job creation is so key to the investor visa, particularly EB-5s, you have to include job titles and exact months when you plan to hire each position. And finally, at number 7, is implying an extended stay. E2 and L1 visa applicants can trigger an RFE if USCIS thinks you might be trying to stay in the US after your visa expires. Make it clear that you just want to come into the US for the allowed number of years, and then you'll return to your permanent residence in your home country. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Don't rush your business plan and visa application. Do it right the first time with solid, recent research geared toward fulfilling every USCIS requirement. That way, you'll have the best chance at getting your visa, and you'll never have to watch this video again. Of course, the best way to prevent an RFE is to partner with experts who have worked on numerous immigration visa business plans before. They'll know how to avoid common pitfalls and can give you invaluable feedback. A good partner, like Masterplans, will develop your business plan and then stand behind their work, revising it for free if you get an RFE. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the market.